so much more from the practice tee here from Congressional Country Club, talking some tempo and some putting when we return.
Time now for This Week in Golf History. In 1960, Arnold Palmer overcomes a 7-stroke final round deficit to hold off 20-year-old amateur Jack Nicklaus and Ben Hogan to win the U.S. Open. In 1970, happy birthday Phil Mickelson, the 4-time major champion and 5-time U.S. Open runner-up, turns 41 this week. And in 1973, Johnny Miller shoots 63 on Sunday in the U.S. Open at Oakmont, the lowest final round by a winner in major championship history.
Well, can you feel it? All right, let's go ahead and hit that shot. 60 yards. Here we go. Oh, this looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. Wednesday, the Grey Goose 19th hole was at Congressional Country Club with a 1-hour special. 4-time PGA Tour winner Steve Flesch joins the panel as they debate all the hottest topics surrounding this week's U.S. Open. It's the Grey Goose 19th hole, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see my good friend Charles Young right there, showing you a little bit of smoothness in that 60-yard wedge shot, but what tempo that he had, what smoothness to that swing. And I'm telling you, this is a swing, by the way, we're going to see, only 12 years old, by the way. He's going to be just, watch out. Remember, you guys remember the name Charles Young, okay, right here. And certainly all these nice people from the first tee of both Baltimore and Prince George's County, we appreciate what the first tee does, doing so much to grow the game of golf. And you know I'm all about growing the game of golf. Remember, I told you, go get one person that hasn't played the game, a friend of yours that hasn't played the game, and introduce them to the game of golf. It's a lot of fun. They'll certainly enjoy it. All right, so tempo. So critical when you get into nervous situations to pay attention to tempo, and one of the biggest things that you're forgetting about is tempo. Tempo is one of the things that leaves you when you're uncomfortable, and what I'm telling you is you've got to remember how to do this. I want to give you a couple of different drills here to assist you with some tempo. First thing I want you to do is you're going to grab your 7-iron and your 6-iron right here. I'm going to just chuck that down like that. And what I want you to do, tempo starts to change. What ends up happening is when we lose tempo, we start paying, our strong hand tends to take over more. So if I swing these two clubs together and I have good tempo, these clubs look like they're moving at the same speed. When I get nervous and I start doing this, my right hand, which is a stronger hand, is going to start to move faster, and my left hand is going to lag behind, and it looks almost like I'm swinging two clubs, which is exactly what I'm doing. What you want to do is you want to teach yourself good tempo, and this is a drill, by the way, that you can do when you're on the golf course. If you feel your swing kind of coming off a little bit, maybe you're losing a little bit, you've gone out and you've had a really good start and then a couple of holes haven't gone the way you hope, just grab a couple of clubs and swing them together. This drill right here to give you some tempo is going to let your body kind of get involved, because now your right arm is going to stay to the right of your left arm and your left arm is going to stay to the left of your right arm. And that's what happens when we use our body properly. Once our hands start swapping and moving across, we lose all that feel, all right? So that's a great drill for you. Now, a drill that you can't do on the golf course is a drill that's going to help you so many times, and I mentioned this earlier, so many times when you're swinging the club, you lose the speed of the swing and the tempo of the swing right directly when you take the club away. So what happens is you start the club going like this, and it moves away so fast that what happens is you never give your body a chance to move, and the club is out racing the speed of your body. Well, what we want to do is we want to be able to move the club in sync with our body. So what you do is you just take a ball, put another one behind there, and what you're going to do is you're just going to move this ball back slowly. What I want you to do is I want the ball to feel like it's staying attached to the club all the way back until it comes up into the air, just like that. You can practice this drill. Put it in there like this. Some of you guys are going like this and you're just chucking that ball back about 35 yards. What I want you to do is put that club in there just like that. Move it back slowly. That's going to help you feel what that feels like to turn properly. I know you're waiting for me to hit it. I can feel it. So we put that in there like that. Make sure we're lined up properly. Now I'm just going to move that back slowly and then let my body take over. Boy, that got fun. Yeah. Hit it right into the sun. All right, we still have to talk about some putting, so we're going to be back. So you come back. You're watching the Golf Fix.
In the USGA rulebook, you'll find 34 rules. Long ones, short ones, simple ones, more involved ones. Rules about equipment, rules about courses. So while some refer to us as the keeper of the rules, we beg to differ. Because what really makes this game so special is that, well, you are.
Welcome back to the Golf Fix. We're at Congressional Country Club, host of the U.S. Open, Bethesda, Maryland, just outside of our nation's capital. And, well, you get to a U.S. Open, you certainly think about the 18th hole. The 18th hole in U.S. Opens, very important putts need to be made, whether it's for birdie, par, or even for bogey here. This is a look at the 533-yard, listen to this, par 4. It is downhill, and it's going to turn a little bit to the left, but this green is going to see some very, very important putts made, particularly on Saturday and on Sunday. Frank Nobilo, again with tee to green, had a chance to look at this. Let's listen.
Chances are this finishing hole will determine the championship in more ways than one. Not only just because of its 521 yards, but how severe it punishes a player for anything that's just a minor miss. Anything on the left, as you can see, it's doomed to find the water. Now this green here, at the front of the green, is 22 paces from side to side. That's pretty narrow when you consider 521 yards of par 4. Now if you bail out on the right side, there's no snack either. It's soft sand. The front bunker has a downhill lie. Now you're hitting to a downhill green that's going to be running at 14.5 on a stimp meter. You've got another bunker here, which you've got lips all the way around. It's a lottery on where that ball will finish. Two others that basically will penalize the player the same. Now the front portion is the wide portion. As the hole gets longer, it gets even harder. You start to go to the back portion of this green, it's 12 yards wide. Now 12 yards on the flat is one thing, but you can see this just tips all the way down, and an over-aggressive shot, once again, punished by the water. They've thought of everything, but that's how you define a champion.
Frank Nobilo has looked at every single hole here on this U.S. Open test, and you can see all of his insight. You can just find it right there on golfchannel.com. Also, all week long on Live from the U.S. Open, Frank's got a lot of insight into what's going on here at Congressional Country Club. All right, so we're talking about putting, and we're talking about importance of putting. Well, we don't have a putting green out here, so we had to go and tape something earlier today just for you to talk about the importance of putting. Let's watch. All right, back on the putting green here and working on a couple of things to become a better putter. You have to control speed and you have to control accuracy. So we've got a couple of little drills for you here. The first one is I've got 2 tees set up right here. This is my goal line. What I'm going to do is back over here, this is about a 20-foot putt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit these putts so that the ball stops around that line. Always fun to get out here on the golf course, particularly in a U.S. Open setting. These green speeds get very fast. You have to be able to control pace. You can see right there, I'm way off. That green speed in the studio there's a little bit slower than what we've got here. Okay, so got to get used to this pace. This may be a little bit better. That's a lot better. All right, so we've got that pace going on here. Feeling exactly how far that distance is. Once I'm comfortable with that, now I've got another drill here where what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work with break. So what we've done is we've kept these tees right here. Swing around over here if you would for me. And what you're going to see is down the line, I've got a tee right here that's going to, in order for me to make this putt, I've got to get above this tee. This is what we call the apex of the break. So what I'm doing is I'm seeing the line that goes around that break. Now if I hit this putt with too much speed, it's not going to have time to take the break. I did miss that tee, but I didn't hit it soft enough to take the break. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little speed into that one, and all of a sudden you can see, come on over here for me so we can look down this line right here and just show how that ball curves around that tee and takes that break right on into the hole there. So this is a great drill for you. It's probably about 9 feet, and it might have as much as maybe 4 or 5 inches of break here. And again, what you're doing is, if I don't hit this putt on the right line with the right speed, it can't go into the hole there. All right? I'm a big baseball guy, so I always try to do things three times in a row. Oops. And that's the one where I missed that tee, but I didn't have enough pace, so I lost it on the low side. Can never end on that. We cannot stop on that one, okay? Set up here like that, get our... And now I blistered it. It's too much pressure. All right, now, the last drill I want you to do is you're gonna put a second tee right in here like this, and we're gonna go back down this line. What we wanna do is we need to start this ball on the line. So you've got these tees set up, and they're just about the width of my putter there, a little bit bigger than the golf ball. And what we're doing is we're gonna hit this right down this line. So swing over here if you would, so we can see how there's a little gap right in there for that ball. And now we're just gonna start this on that line. I ticked that inner line there. This is a hard drill to do, and this is one of those that you're going to spend a lot of time practicing on. There we go. So use those tees right there. Those 3 drills are going to help you become a better putter. You're going to be able to control speed and initial direction, and you become the putter you want to be. Hey, we're not done yet from the U.S. Open. We've got much more. Our final swing thought when we return. It's the Golf Fix.
The Golf Fix, brought to you by SkyCaddy. Save strokes and money too. Visit SkyCaddy.com today. The new Titleist 910 drivers, total performance, precision fit.
Let me see the varsity. There it is. All right, give us some good smiles right there. There we go. Get one more. Let's get one more. Get one more. There you go. Here we go. It's U.S. Open week on Golf Channel, and live from the U.S. Open begins Tuesday at noon with Players News Conferences. Our experts will break down all the news and tell you everything you need to know about the week ahead. It's complete coverage of the U.S. Open all week long on Golf Channel. All right, time for a final swing thought. You know, you're going to see a lot of nerves go along this week, and we're standing out here on the practice tee looking dead into the sun. It's a nervous time. A lot of people around. You're standing on the first tee. A lot of emotion, a lot of nerves going on. Breathe. So many people, they forget to breathe. You've got to breathe. When you breathe, I don't want you to just kind of go, right, Charles? You can't just, you got to breathe down into your stomach and take it, make sure you get it. That's what the oxygen oxygen helps, by the way. It'll help you, I promise. Keep you on your feet. So after you do that, then what I want you to do is I want you to commit to a target. So many times, there's a lot of things that can be racing going on in your mind. People are watching you. It's an important shot. If you don't execute it, blah, blah. I mean, you can go through all the things in your mind that you want to go through. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you stay committed to a shot. Commitment is essential to be successful. So do your little breathing. Pick out that target that you're going to hit. And don't throw the word try around. Try is such a bad word, by the way, you guys. Don't try, do, okay? Try, bad. Do, good. All right, so you pick that target and commit to that target right there, just like that, okay? Thank you, guys. Well, you know, I got to tell you, honestly and professionally, it is such an honor for me to be able to conduct this show right here from the practice tee at Congressional Country Club. And there's so many people to thank. Obviously, the USGA we're so grateful for, our friends from the first tee here, and certainly the PGA of America.